99% of the people you interact with every single day are operating on autopilot. They believe they are making conscious choices, selecting their friends, protecting their interests, and directing their own lives. They are wrong. Human behavior is governed by an invisible framework of psychological laws. These laws are ancient, hardwired into our biology, and completely subconscious. Those who do not understand them are doomed to be controlled by them. But those who master them gain an almost unfair advantage. They can read intentions before a word is spoken. They can command respect without raising their voice. They can navigate deception with absolute clarity. Welcome to a masterclass in human architecture. Today, we are breaking down the 20 subtle psychological laws that dictate human behavior. We have divided these into 5 distinct pillars: deception, respect, attraction, influence, and self-preservation. Do not skip a single law. The one you ignore is the exact vulnerability someone else will use against you. Let us begin. Law 1. The over-justification paradox. When a person lies, their primary psychological objective is to construct a flawless reality. Because of this, they always give too much data. If you ask someone why they were late, an innocent person will give a short, structural truth. Traffic was a nightmare. A deceptive person will provide a narrative. The highway was blocked because a delivery truck spilled boxes at exit 4, so I had to take the back roads past the old mill. They believe detail equals credibility. In reality, detail is the footprint of anxiety. When the narrative feels overly decorated, the mind is attempting to buy your belief. Silence is your best weapon here. Do not argue. Simply look at them, nod slowly, and let them keep talking. The more they try to justify, the faster the facade crumbles. Law 2. The baseline deviation principle. Pop culture tells you that liars look away, sweat, or fidget. This is fundamentally incorrect. Professional deceivers know these myths and will actively force intense, unblinking eye contact to appear honest. To spot deception, you must look for deviation. How does this person behave when they are completely relaxed? Do they touch their neck? Do they speak quickly? Once you establish their natural baseline during casual conversation, look for the exact second that baseline shifts. A sudden drop in vocal pitch, a sudden freezing of body language, or an abrupt burst of forced humor are the true cracks in the armor. It is not the behavior itself that betrays them. It is the sudden change. Law 3. The false confession shield. The perfect lie is wrapped inside an embarrassing truth. If someone wants to deceive you about a major mistake, they will voluntarily confess to a minor, highly embarrassing flaw. For example, I completely forgot to email that client because I was hiding in the break room, dealing with a brutal stomachache. By exposing a highly vulnerable, unflattering detail about themselves, your brain automatically categorizes them as radically honest. The vulnerability bypasses your critical thinking. You become so uncomfortable or amused by their minor confession that you completely forget to audit the major deception hidden right beneath it.
Law 4. Frame control. In every human interaction, there is an invisible boundary known as the frame. Whoever defines the parameters of the conversation controls reality. The ultimate law of deception is that the liar will always try to break your frame by shifting from the action to the intention. If you confront someone with hard evidence of their disrespect, they will not argue the facts. Instead, they will shift the frame by saying, "How could you even think I would do that? Do you have no trust in me?" Suddenly, you are no longer discussing their bad behavior. You are defending your lack of trust. You have lost the frame. To win, you must stubbornly hold the boundary. Respond with, "We can discuss my trust later. Right now, we are discussing this specific action." Law 5. the strategic silence threshold. Low-status individuals feel a desperate psychological need to fill every silence. They babble, they make nervous jokes, and they over-explain because quietness feels like a vacuum that threatens their social security. High-status individuals view silence as a position of strength. When you ask a question, or when someone finishes speaking to you, pause for a deliberate 3 seconds before you respond. Maintain calm eye contact. This brief delay completely alters the dynamic of the room. It signals that you are not reactive, that you are thoroughly processing the data, and that you are entirely comfortable holding space. Silence forces the other person to wonder if they have said enough, instantly shifting the power dynamic in your favor. Law 6. The benign violation theory. People do not respect those who are perfectly polite, entirely predictable, and endlessly safe. Absolute compliance breeds invisible indifference. True, lasting respect requires a calculated touch of unpredictability. The benign violation theory states that humor, charisma, and deep respect exist at the intersection of a violation and safety. You must show that you possess the capacity to challenge, to tease, or to disagree the violation, but do it with a calm, unthreatened smile, the safety. When people realize you are not afraid to gently push back against their boundaries, their perception of your value skyrockets. You are no longer a background character. You are a force to be reckoned with. Law 7, Chapter 3, Calibrated Praise. If you praise everyone for everything, your validation becomes worthless. It is psychological inflation. People who constantly compliment others are viewed as desperate pleasers or low-level manipulators. To command deep respect, your praise must be scarce, specific, and entirely earned. Do not tell someone, "Great job today." That is lazy. Instead, say nothing for days, and then spot a highly specific detail. The way you restructured that third parameter during the meeting completely neutralized their objection. That was highly calibrated. Because the praise is rare and hyper-specific, the recipient will obsess over it. They realize you are paying close attention and that your approval is a premium commodity. Law 8. The threshold of departure. The ultimate metric of your self-respect is your willingness to walk away and mean it. Human beings possess a primal instinct to test boundaries. They will push, take micro-advantages, and test your tolerance for disrespect. If you signal that your presence can be bought at the price of your dignity, they will continuously lower your value. You must have a clearly defined boundary where you simply remove your attention, your time, or your presence without an emotional explosion. A loud, angry argument shows you are still desperately invested. A cold, calm, absolute departure shows you value your peace far more than their validation. The moment they realize you can genuinely walk away without looking back, they will treat you with absolute caution. This concludes Chapter 1. The Dark Architecture. You now possess the foundation to map deception and command immediate respect. But understanding the framework is only half the battle. You must learn how to deploy it. We will unlock the laws of psychological attraction, strategic scarcity, and the invisible traps of human influence. If you have made it this far, you are no longer a passive observer. Prove it. Hit the like button right now to anchor this knowledge into the algorithm and subscribe to unlock the rest of the archive. Do not let your mind stay unguarded.